here right in the center of Berlin, right next to Alexanderplatz. And we're located in a small pavilion, which sits right in the front of a big abandoned building complex that have been abandoned for over 10 years. And we are sitting here in this pavilion, and which will now, over the coming months, function as an entry point to bring people in to develop ideas for the development of these abandoned buildings. And they wanted to tear it down and build office buildings. One has to know, though, that although we're in the center of a European capital, it's still quite a mixed use. I mean, there is some offices, but there's also people living just next door. There's like big apartment blocks living next door. And so the threat would have been that for those people living here, it would have been a very bland area where nothing really would have happened. Doors would be closed after office hours, nothing would happen, no space for culture, no space for inner city production. And so now the opportunity with this house not being demolished and being developed for community interest, basically create an entire new neighborhood, and to have something right in the middle of right in the heart, in the center of a city, I think is quite valuable, and hopefully it will also be a nice showcase to inspire other people and also to inspire other governments and municipalities to open up developments for people coming from civil society, just normal everyday people who like to get engaged. This building is called Haus der Statistik. The initiative formed through an artist intervention, and they put up a big poster on the building. It looked very official, like a real estate poster, and they said the city of Berlin is building spaces for culture, social infrastructure, and education. And that's how this whole discourse started. Why is the city actually tearing it down? What is happening with this building? Why is it being empty since 10 years? Basically, they just formed from themselves. So one has to say that this initiative just reacted from their own impulse. They wanted to save the building.
Jeżeli popatrzymy się na osiedla z wielkiej płyty, z punktu widzenia ochrony zabytków, można powiedzieć, że w tym momencie nie ma jeszcze narzędzi, które zostały wypracowane. Tak naprawdę dyskusja, która się teraz toczy wśród kręgów takich fachowych, jeżeli chodzi o ochronę zabytków, właśnie cały czas krąży wokół tego, że nie do końca wiemy, jak sobie poradzić z taką ilością obiektów i właściwie tak trochę podchodzimy jak pies do jeża, bo nie wiemy do końca, co z tym zrobić, więc zostawiamy je niejako na pastwę czasu. I właśnie takich przypadków pozostawiania czegoś na pastwę czasu jest sporo, gdzie budynki tak długo stały puste, że w pewnym momencie nie było innego rozwiązania, tylko należało je wyburzyć.
This new corporation formed, there was even the opportunity or the possibility to open up this pavilion again and to open up a space like this for people to get engaged. So since 3 years, a lot of people have shown interest because everyone knows this house. People are very interested in what is happening. And at the same time, since this building was empty for 10 years, a lot of people also are a bit mistrusting because it almost seems too good to be true. So they come in and they were like, yeah, but I've already went to so many meetings, but still they're here, so they're still coming back. So I think there's still interest. And then those people who come in and had a positive experience, they go back out, tell it to their neighbors, tell it to their friends, tell it to their colleagues. So I think what is very important is to have these door openers into different communities. So there has to be a lot of talking and communicating and inviting people over and over again and building trust and relationships. Every Tuesday and Wednesday we have an open cafe, so people can come in and like on a very relaxed basis, they can just get informed, they can ask questions without having to be an expert on buildings, planning, architecture. They can just come in. So it's very important that the windows are open, one can look in, we can look out. If someone is reading information about the building, we can wave, we can welcome them in, we can go outside. So this is the format that we have twice a week. So instead of only having experts who would then evaluate the proposals from the planners, we invited people from the civil society, and then 2 people were chosen from that who are now also part of the jury. So in that way, they as representatives of the civil society have a say in what will happen here as well. And with the other formats that we have here, so through workshops, but also children's program, one where we address specifically older people, homeless people, and we try to make people aware that this is really a neighborhood that is supposed to be for them, with them, and that they have a say in it, and that they can create it, and that is now the time. Yeah, so the people that are living here right now are predominantly older people. So anyway, over the next 10 years, there will be a change of generation. You can already see now that new people are moving in, young families, but still very mixed. And I think in terms of what will happen here, or the influence of this new quarter, Haus der Statistik, is the kind of buildings, the kinds of apartments that will be built here. If you only build very expensive flats for individuals, then this will obviously shape how this neighborhood will look like.
Takim dobrym podejściem, wydaje mi się to, takiego dziedzictwa właśnie masowego, jest koncepcja Weiterbauen. Ta koncepcja mówi, że to nie tyle chodzi o to, żeby zachować tą materialną strukturę, czyli tak zwane tangible heritage, tylko żeby bardziej pomyśleć o tym, jaka idea przyświecała twórcom takich osiedli, co jest ważne, co my chcemy opowiedzieć, jaka jest historia tego osiedla, ponieważ takie osiedla naprawdę posiadają wiele historii i dla wielu ludzi znaczą dużo, ponieważ spędzili tam całe swoje życie.
I think one has to pay respect to also what has been here before and also what infrastructure people may miss currently. So for example, this pavilion used to be a pharmacy, and then it was a bicycle store, and then it was empty and carted with posters. So it was basically derelict and in a very dilapidated state for a few years. But a few people came to us and said there used to be a cafe here called Café Mocha, and you can actually still see the sign of the coffee cup on one side of the building. So we decided, why not open up, like in this pavilion, also have as one of the things that we offer a cafe. We don't call it Café Mocha because we are not Café Mocha, but we call it Café Statistik. So it has the sign that people recognize, but it also has the name in it of Haus der Statistik, but it's also something new since we are running it. And sometimes people come in here like really randomly because they heard, you can get free coffee here. Initially, they were not interested in the planning process. They just wanted to have a cup of coffee. We invited them in. And then we started to talk. And obviously they had something to say. And obviously they had like ideas on what could happen here. But normally these would not be people who would take part in this planning process. And maybe also because they don't consider themselves as experts. But to us, like, these are exactly the people who are experts. They know this area. Like, I don't know this area that well. I live at the other side of the city, but they know it. They know how they use this space, what is missing, what has been here before. And they have really great ideas on how to use the space even now. So this is always very inspiring.